Just Made Media presents One on One, a video podcast featuring exclusive interviews and live performances, the New York edition, recorded live in Brooklyn at the Greenhouse Recording Company. Please like and subscribe to our channel for dope content.
All right, welcome everyone once again to another episode of One on One. We're doing it live from the Greenhouse Recording Studio in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, I mean, we back in New York for this first time doing an episode here for One on One. Send a big shout out to my man Mose on the engineer boards for us today. Big shout out to Gigi.
Hello, hello.
All right, back in the background. And we got Chase Kalor. All right. And without further ado, I want to introduce our guest for today, my man Jesse Rackson.
Yes. Oh, man, peace. Thank y'all for having me, man.
Welcome.
Respect.
Yeah, respect. So, we first met Jesse Rackson last year in November when we did the first ever REC event that we do every month here in New York. And man, my man Jesse Rackson killed it. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they announced that he was from the Bronx, I knew it was going to be nice. You know what I'm saying?
You know that.
You know what I mean? Because I represent Bronx too all day, every day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, we're going to get into the discussion and just talk about what we like to talk about, beat making and hip hop culture for real. So, Jesse, you know, I apologize. I didn't get the opportunity to really go through your catalog or anything before we got together.
Love.
But maybe you want to just tell us first how it all began, you know, maybe coming up in the Bronx and how you got into hip hop culture.
Well, I'm from the Bronx, as he just mentioned. Growing up, I don't know. I guess it all started with like my mom. Shout out to my mother. I mean, you probably gonna watch this. I love my mom's my best friend, but my mother always used to have like old soul records playing in the house and stuff like that. So you know how it is. Your parents don't care for your request of music, so they was just gonna play what they was gonna play. So my mother had like the Stylistics, like Isaac Hayes, Otis Redding, things, the Whispers, things like that, always playing in the background. So I remember being young, waking up on Saturday, because you know you used to go to school, you try to sleep in on the weekend, catch Saturday cartoons. I used to wake up and hear like Latest Greatest Inspiration by like Teddy Pendergrass. Like, yo, turn this shit off. Like I'm trying to go. You know what I mean? It's a dub for that. But as I got older, I started around like maybe like 7, 8 years old. I think it was I think Biggie Smalls had dropped Ready to Die Remastered. I know I'm about to say he was gone already, but it was, they redid the album. Remember, it's like all white with the baby in the middle. They redid a black one. I don't know if you remember that. They had dropped the remastered Ready to Die, and it was the black with the baby in the middle. It was all black, matte black album.
Right.
And I bought that, and I was like, this is different. You know what I'm saying? So from then on, of course, too, watching TRL, watching like being on TV, Yo MTV Raps. I was young. I'm still young enough to remember that. So watching like that mid 90s to like late 90s, like R&B, got Mary J. Blige or like SWV and that like New Jack Swing and things like
Word
that.
up.
I was still in the midst of all of that. But my first physical thing I ever bought was like Biggie Smalls Ready to Die, but the remastered version. I was too young, unfortunately.
Okay.
I did not have the OG.
Yeah.
So after that, I just started loving the music. I started learning all the words. I couldn't say half of the album, as y'all know, was really violent. So I was like 9 years old, 10 years old. I couldn't sing nothing in the house. So, but in the back of my mind, though, I always heard the beats. And I was like, yo, this stuff is cool, but I didn't know if there was a producer. I was so young, I just thought everything happened by one person. I thought the rapper, I'm young, man. So the rap, I was like, oh, Biggie, like he probably just sat down. The beat, he just made the beat and he just rapped on it. And that's the album. Like one man does the whole thing.
Right.
So I never really thought, I'm like, the sounds in the back are really cool. You know what I'm saying? And then from then on, I think early 2000s came. I was already in school. We had, we was poor. We didn't have no computer in the house, but we had a computer at school, computer time.
Yeah, that's how it used to be.
You feel me?
Just the computer lab.
You feel exactly, yo, computer time, son. I used to get in trouble because they used to tell me to log on to like some math game or something like Leapfrog. I went on YouTube.
Word
I used to
up.
look up like albums or like, you know, you may like this, the related searches. That changed my life because I was young. I didn't know where to start. I would just type in what I knew. So I'd be like, Biggie Smalls Ready to Die. After that was done, it'd be like, you may like this. Nas, it was written. Or something like that. I didn't know what any of that stuff was. But those related searches just kept digging me deeper and deeper into the hole. And I was like, oh, before I knew it, I started to like write down. Because once I still ain't have no cell phones, I used to write down the names of shit. And then I remember one time, I think maybe like 8th grade, in the computer lab, like everything changed. It was like related search, but this time it wasn't a rap album. It was something called it was Ninth Wonder instrumentals.
Okay.
I never knew people just made beats
Right.
to listen to. You know what I'm saying? That's at this time. I know it's probably common sense. I mean, people might have known already. I was late, but when I clicked that, the beat starts. I'm like, oh, this is lit. This about to be crazy. Somebody about to get on this crazy. The beat just kept going. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Whatever
So-
ninth.
so-
I don't know if y'all remember. It was a ninth one. The beat tape. It had no name, but it used to be like in transitions with train tracks. They still got them on YouTube. It was like it would be a train, like the train coming, and then they'll go on to the next beat. And I'm like, so it's an hour of just sample-based beats. What the fuck? This is crazy. Wait, can I curse my phone?
Yeah, nah, you good.
Oh,
Open format, baby. Do your thing.
Oh, say no more. We're safe here. It's a safe place.
It's a safe place.
But yeah, so I was like, man, what the fuck? After that, I started typing in, like looking for keywords or whatever. So I used to type in like instrumental type. And then once you do that, once again, related searches was like from Ninth Wonder, I found out about like I found out my second instrumental person was Quasimodo, which I did not know at the time was Madlib. Once again, just trying to figure things out at that time, piecing things together on the internet.
Right.
Before I knew it, that's all I did. LimeWire was out. Shout out LimeWire if y'all remember that. I used to try to type in those keywords on LimeWire. I would strip all the instrumental stuff, and I had the iPod, the first fat iPod mini with the colors. I had the candy apple green joint. I used to dump all the hour tracks. It would be one track, but it would be like an hour longer beats.
Right.
And I would ride my scooter on my bike, listening to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, just to take a couple steps back in transition, I am a child of the Walkman. I had a Walkman CD.
That's important.
I want to go back. Before the iPod, I had a Walkman. And I used to go to FYE, save up my allowance, and buy albums. But remember,
FYE.
shout out FYE.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't remember that, you know what I mean? But I was there. FYE, I would buy albums. But remember, at that time, too, you can't go into a FYE, a professional real music place, and buy a Ninth Wonder beat tape. So I was like, I would treat my commercial albums for FYE. Like I bought 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying when it came out. I was at FYE for that and things like that. But then I had the other side, which I would like to call like the underground music. I'm like, man, I know this place on YouTube where you could get all like the cool beats. Yeah. And then I would just listen to that. Around like maybe 14, 15, I was like, yo, man, I'm gonna dive into like not making music, but like maybe like making my own playlist. So like making your own mixtapes but DJing. So I found like I think it was Virtual DJ. I had a computer at the time. We wasn't that broke no more.
Right.
I was getting money. I bought a computer and I started to like make little mixes and stuff like that for myself. Until one of my friends was like, yo, this is kind of cool. You should like try doing like little block parties and stuff like that in the hood. So I was like, okay, cool. I got CDs. I got stacks of CDs and I got my mixes.
I got a question for you too. Because on some Bronx shit, but I don't think we're too far in age, but I don't know if you didn't really catch the vinyl era, right? Like buying vinyl, collecting vinyl.
That's the crazy part. I'm a be totally transparent and honest. I'm not going to try to sound more cooler than I am. I started records really late. I started buying wax. Don't get me wrong. Now I challenge a bunch. My wax collection is crazy. We could go spin for spin.
Yeah.
But not no MP3 files, not none of that. I've really got almost everything on wax.
Word up.
I went back and did the due diligence. So
That's nice.
With that being said though, like from 15 to like 18, I was the internet and CD kid.
Yeah.
And then around 18 years old, I was like, I finally knew about all the household names. You know, Doom, Dilla, Quasi was actually Madlib, and everybody else. And I was like, yo, man, this is crazy. Still though, to this day, not knowing how to make beats. I'm also a late bloomer with beats as well, which I get to. Now I'm about 18, 19. I'm like, I'm gonna buy a record player. My mom had wax because that's why I didn't claim it because it was my mom's wax.
Were you able to inherit it from her?
I took it.
Yeah, I feel you.
After a certain age, my mother also eventually was like, man, that stuff is old school. She found out about the internet. You know, old people get their phone. They be like, she finally got a cell phone. I think I got my mom an iPhone. She never looked back. So all her oldies, you could go on YouTube and type in like, Willie Hutch and get something. So my mom was doing stuff like that. So she left those. We have a house, so she left them downstairs. I took that, but then I started buying. I bought my first piece of wax. Like went to my first record store like 18, 19.
Yo, because I was gonna tell you, right on Fordham Road, right near Grand Concourse, there used to be Music Factory, where you would go down in the basement, and I bought a lot of wax there from throughout the years. And also in downtown Brooklyn, because we in Brooklyn right now, they had almost an identical type vinyl store called Beat Street that was right on Fulton Street in downtown Brooklyn. And these are great. Like you walk in off the stairs, right? You take the stairs all the way down to a big basement. and it'd be a room that has like 25 rows of records, 30,
Wow.
40, I don't know, some shit, but boom. And you know what? On Fordham Road, man, they had a lot of good prices on the vinyl. You get all the original breakbeat compilation records, all the ultimate breaks and beats and super disco breaks, and they still had new rap vinyl. They had singles, 12-inch singles. If you was a working DJ, you can go get your vinyl. So anyway, so those hip hop shops around the boroughs, really around America, I'm sure they had them in Chicago too. That's what held down the culture before all the internet shit. So
See,
anyway,
and that's the point. I'm like the middle child of the internet. I was like, I'm in the cusp of still knowing how to look into a dictionary and kind of actually really reading a word and getting a definition. I know how to do that. Some of y'all don't. And but I'm just right before that where it was like if you needed to learn something, you had to look in the book for it. But then like around 13, 14, the internet came full circle, and I was also there to become computer savvy. So I kind of found like I hit right the sweet spot. But I didn't, unfortunately, the record, like going still to the record spots, I didn't really get that till later. I remember the first record store I went to, which is probably lame because it's like no disrespect to the record store, but like it wasn't the OG. I think I went to A1 Records on 12th Street.
No. Well, A1 on 6th Street. That is OG though.
Okay.
They've been around. Much respect to A1. And I used to work in that neighborhood for years in East Village and all that.
Yeah.
Man, there's all kinds of great record stores down there. Some of them are dying. Like, you know, it's not as easy of a business. I mean, Academy, I think, is still there. They had a couple.
No, Academy is still there. I just was digging it the other
Academy
day.
in Brooklyn opened up a second location, and that was a big deal. You know what I saw after I hadn't been in Brooklyn for a while and I came back was a place called Rough Trade. They started doing that where it's like a record store and a venue. You know what I'm saying? There's a full concert venue.
I think they're still up. I'm not gonna lie.
No doubt.
But the first, I think the first record I bought at the time, trying to get back in this cliche, but I think I bought Marvin Gaye. Was going on because my mother had one. You know, everybody from that time, but that was a must-have album.
That's a must-have.
My mom's joint was chewed up, like Flying High in the Sky sounded like chicken scratch on that album because it was so. I don't know what she was doing. Somebody was chewing on that album.
No doubt.
But everything else was
some shit on
no,
it.
yeah, I don't know. Cause my mom wasn't a DJ. All her records were clean. She got some explaining to do. Somebody touched that Marvin Gaye record before me. But that record was messed up, so I rebought it, and I only went home with one record. Cause still at the time, I'm not gonna lie, I was still spoiled as an internet kid. Like $20 for a record, I could get this for free on the internet. Now understanding music sounds totally different in the record as I got older.
Yeah. Because you know we're talking about an analog transfer of sound.
No, absolutely.
So you know, I mean, listen, if the record is scratched up, you got something wrong with your turntable, could have a bad experience. But a good clean record on a good clean record player on a nice system, that's still the best way to listen to music. You know, you turn it up, it's warm.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It's an experience.
Like even to just
come closer to the mic.
Even to just grab like the record to look at the cover art to put it on the, you know what I'm saying, the record.
They don't
player.
understand.
It's like a whole experience before you even get to the music that like helps you kind of get into the world of what this artist is presenting. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, man. Yeah.
Well, you know, so let's segue from there. So at this point, you got a sense that you know you want to make beats, right? What was the transition like when you first really said, okay, now I'm making something, and then what started to happen for you from there?
Crazy part is, once, not gonna lie, I was 19, 20, still just collecting love. I became more just a lover of music. I still ain't make a beat to save my life. I never thought about it. I didn't own no gear. I was still just on turntables making mixes, like a digital turntable or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And around about 20, I just collected music until 20 to like 27. Still, I ain't make no beat. What I used to do was I would slow down stuff and loop it, but like I would do it for like a live DJ show to go into the next thing. So I didn't know I was making loops. I was just doing it for performance purposes.
Yeah,
so
functional.
So I guess that was making beats. But as far as like I'm gonna lay a drum down, I'm gonna throw the sample on there, I'm gonna get funky, I'm gonna chop up. I never really did that until like 20, the end of my like 28. I think 28, all my friends was just like, I used to, just to backtrack too, by the way, like from 24, I found out about underground beat shows. Hence, like, you know what I mean? The hook show and things like what you're doing right now for the platform. There were shows like that in the basement, which I'm pretty sure you was at the OG era. But I found my way, I found my way into those basement shows in Brooklyn. So before, from like 24 to like 28, I was every beat show. Every beat show I was there. Every beat show.
Right.
And I seen it happen. And I knew I don't know if I wanted to be a part of it, but I would be like, damn, it's almost like DJing, but I feel like they're a little better because they actually making the stuff they playing. So I'm not really making what I'm playing.
And that's a great point because I'm a DJ for many years. you know, I wear many hats in the culture. I'll just say it that people think that if you're gonna gather people together, they know about a DJ. That's a typical way to go. And no, just I love the art form and the culture of DJing, but that speaks to a different audience. Having producers, see, like the crowd, they want to see that because they want to feel like, can I ever see what someone makes themselves? Does it always have to be like a top 40 record or some peer pressure of a popularity contest of like who the greatest artist is? Sometimes I just want to know a little bit more about the producers. I want to see them in their element. I want to see them thrive and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely dig it. And that's actually why we do this. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense.
Respect.
You walk in to an event like that, because if you really got the bug in you, it's going to hit you. You're going to be in the room like, oh, what is going on in here? Like,
Exactly. That was me.
Word.
I was a young, I went to my first Basement Beat show and was just like, yo, this is, I left that day, yo, I started hounding everybody, like trying to find out, looking at the tag photos on Instagram, looking for the next event. I ain't care. There were shows I went to, I knew nobody. Some of these people are my brothers now, but some of these venues I would go, not know nobody, and just be a fly on the wall, get a drink, and just sit and just like watch. You know what I'm saying? And soak up game. And then like around 2020, yeah, like I said, the end of my 27th year on the earth, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try playing around. I bought an SP4 for SX.
Word.
And I just started, I don't know, like once again, still looping stuff, but like looping, chopping. Like I always say, it's the difference between just looping, hitting start and play on the track that's like a good riff or a part of the song, but taking 4 different riffs and creating your own riff. That's still a loop, but it's more talent. Take some chops. I call it surgical, getting surgical with the loop. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Taking 228 into the song and then taking 4 seconds in that song, putting it and making it cohesive. That it sounds so good, it sounds like it's one part.
No doubt.
So
you're talking about really listening to what you're doing, not just so heavily relying on discovering a certain loop or something, but hearing the complexity and the imagination of what you could do with it, and be willing to have the patience to take a few steps and actually get into it. You know what I mean?
Or more importantly, listen to the whole song. I know a lot of y'all. I'm gonna say this. I've been in the room with a lot of y'all producers, and it's not putting nobody down, but yo, dude, to put on a record, put the needle on the record, 10 seconds in, nope, nah, I can't hear nothing in this. Bro, play the or vice versa. 10 seconds in, woo, this is crazy. I'm done. If it's crazy in the first 10 seconds, listen to the whole song. There's a bridge that person probably has the same rivet playing and a more soulful humming loop on it. It's like, yo, they getting emotional. What we doing here? Like, but dudes would just be like, first 10 seconds, either you got it, you don't. Next. I'm like, yo, I can't dig with people like y'all like this. You got to really enjoy the music. And that's why, to get back on the late bloomer thing, I think I think I'm decent. I like to say I'm decent enough in making beats because I've done my due diligence. I really enjoy music. I love music. I don't go in looking for songs or looking for a sample. You know how many records I buy and there's no sample on it? I still buy it. It's a good listen.
Yeah, sure.
There's nothing wrong with a good listen. And then I end up playing it again one day while cleaning. I'm like, I didn't remember this part. There is a sample there. Because I took the time to just listen. Play the whole A and B sides.
Yo, and you know what? I want to just, before we segue to change the subject and to cap that off too, I want to recommend not only to beat makers, but even rappers, even singers, make sure that you make some time to just enjoy music. Just let it doesn't matter what you do in music, at least once or twice a month, let a whole album play through from start to finish. Just sit back and enjoy it. The music was made and meant to be enjoyed. I know we're working, we're all trying to make content, or we have a job in the industry that we're trying to make for ourselves, but you know, what is the music culture without enjoying it? You know what I mean? So it's just a reminder, you know what I mean? Like, because I know we all trying to get ahead and make wins and do business, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's not about the business. It's just about the music. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. I want to end the subject with this. I want to say, like, I always say, producers is almost like listening to the whole music. It's almost like reading books. You know how they say those who don't read a lot of books, it shows in your vocabulary. You could tell you don't read a lot based off the way you talk. You can't structure a sentence. It's the same thing in producers. Based off the beats I'm hearing from you, you don't listen to music. You listen to, it's the same thing. You don't listen to a lot of music, do you?
My man Mose had the face. He was like,
no, fact, it's the same thing. You don't read a lot of books, do you? You don't listen to a lot of music, do you?
Wow.
Yeah. And,
I mean, same thing.
And you know what? You know, and to your point, that's not to knock anybody, but when you're in a a community or a group of people that you could tell like respect this shit,
I do.
then there's a different level you could feel. You could feel energy in the room. Like everybody in here is like really music lover, really appreciates the hard work that goes into this. You know what I mean? But so also this is what I wanted to ask you too, because like I met you at the REC event.
Yeah.
So how many years you got in like the live producer events now? Like how long you been doing events?
Performing wise?
Yeah, performing in events.
Probably like the kind of backtracking a little to get into like I never really got to say when I started making beats. I started making beats the last 2 months before COVID took us. So
Got you.
that's
Oh, wow.
so with that being said, though, to get back, I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as like I started making beats, I got like 2-3 shows immediately. Then COVID hit, locked us in the house, and I was locked in a room full of records, and that's when I went ham.
You went ham,
bro, right?
So,
ham.
on the low, where
Yeah.
everybody, people were scared. People that wouldn't know was like we were all scared. We didn't know what was happening when the world shut
That's
down.
true.
So it's not just a New York thing. This is, I'm pretty sure you went through it in Chicago, or y'all went through it in Chicago.
Well,
but
we were actually here for the pandemic.
Yeah,
okay.
we were here first, and we had to go get her mom and have her live with us
See,
because
In
we were
our-
scared. We didn't want her to be by herself, and anyway, like you said, people didn't know what to think, right?
no, exactly. So I think during that COVID, what was COVID lasted 2 years, as they say, or a year and a half, where the world literally you couldn't go nowhere. Everybody was closed. It was like a year and a half.
like year and a
Yeah,
half
yeah,
to
yeah,
2.
year and a half.
I think
Yeah,
that year and a half, I
yeah.
dropped 30 tapes.
Word up.
Whoa.
I'm on my 35th album, but I dropped 30 tapes. Majority of my
Ooh.
body of work came during COVID. I was dropping the tape every month.
Damn.
And
By
Bandcamp Friday dropped too. So it was
That's
like
right.
a new way where you could get, like, it was no revenue. Every Bandcamp Friday, I dropped the album. I was trying to
Word.
make money.
That's
So-
right. Yeah.
Word,
So
word.
I think that's what happened. Then to get back to your main question now, I performed like 3 times before COVID.
Yeah.
Then I went obviously stalemate because nobody was open. And if you do a
That's
show,
right.
people were looking at you like you had 8 heads.
Right,
Nobody
right,
was
right,
going.
right. Nobody's
No, but it
going.
was kind of rude too. It was safety. It was kind of rude to throw a music show like to you putting people at risk. But
At that time, you're right.
you're right. People were scared. I was scared.
No doubt. No doubt.
But as soon as COVID, like as soon as the world started creeping out a little bit, I had like 10 bookings for shows, and then I don't know. I've done
Good
like
for you.
I don't really thank you. I don't know if I've counted, but I've done more than 20, 30 shows.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So the thing, and I bring it up because when you went up there, you just had a sense of like some seasoning. I was like, no, this cat is like he's prepared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, thank you.
He had like the snow beach on. You know what I mean? He set up. He grabbed the mic. He said it's welcome. Bang! And it just hit. You know what I mean? So anyway, we had a real
Thank
good
you so
time,
much, man.
And because Jesse had opened up the night, and this was a new event for us, me and my wife Gina, we flew back to New York to do the event. Anytime you do something new, you're nervous. You want to see the thing grow and become the thing that you want it to be. And that's when I knew that Hooks really knows what he's doing with the curation. I got a real, because he's living in New York and I'm living in Chicago, he's the one who's tapped in with the scene. So I got to trust that he's picking the right people. And as soon as you hit the button, I was like, oh, this shit's hot. This is a nice event. Like, this is going to go well. Word up.
Nah, absolutely. Respect the Hooks. You know what I mean? Because when he reached out, you're right, though. Because I remember it was a group chat. He made a group chat with all of us once everybody confirmed. And he was like, he did say, he was like, yo, bro, this is like, I got this cat, which was you at the time. We didn't know it was you. And was like, yo, we got somebody who's willing to open up their space for us. That's not somebody's basement. It's an actual real place. Not basement shows, though, is the origin. I want to say that. I'm not down in basement shows.
Word up.
But I will say, and I was like, yo, this is a time for us to really showcase. Because a lot of the sad part with our genre, I'm going to keep it real, a lot of bigger places don't understand what we do yet.
Sure.
Or like I've performed at bigger places and people are looking like, he's not going to play any Travis Scott or anything. None against that, but it's just like,
Sure.
this is not
Right.
what we doing here. So those larger venues it's business. I get it. They don't book us in sense that they won't sell or the average person walking is gonna be like, nah, there's a lot going on. I'm out of here. So we don't usually have bigger spaces. So when he had mentioned that, he told us, he was like, yo, this is not like a small show. This is something that if we do good, we could get a space of our own.
Word
What
up.
we've always wanted. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna come correct.
Yeah.
Then not to mention there was there was like 4 more talented brothers on there.
Yeah.
Or 5 more.
Yeah, the whole night was good, man. And so far, blessings up, man. I'm just happy that we're starting to see the results of the work. That was the first one. And big up to everybody who rocked last night. I know everyone's going to see this on YouTube like a month later. But we're here in town because we did REC in Brooklyn last night.
Respect.
First one that we did at a more like larger venue, ticketed. We was at the Meadows, which is over in Bushwick. and we hope to return in the wintertime. But everyone killed it, man. Johnny Storm was up there, DFNS, Pro Dillinger was there.
Good food.
Good Food killed it.
Shout out my brother Good Food. This is random. That's my brother. He a good dude. And shout out my
He
man
is.
DZ too. DZ, I see I had him a second time. He tore down the first show too. Shout out my brother DZ, man.
Yeah. And it just was love, and it just sometimes when you look at the way that the internet seems to have like multiplied the playing field, it's just like how many millions of people are doing this, like trying to do some shit, like beats, rap, whatever, you know? So you ask yourself, what's gonna come out of this? Something is coming out of it. We're creating a community, you know what I mean?
Respect.
And that's is Record Everything Culture, what we're doing in Chicago with Just Made Media. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're tapped into the beat scene in Chicago, man. If you make your way out to Chicago, we could put you down with the people. You know what I
And
mean?
I appreciate that.
You should go ahead, G.
It's about the Bronx.
Yes.
I'm from Chicago, right?
Respect.
And what happens in Chicago, people are like, "Oh, you're from Chicago? Like, it's so dangerous there." So there's this like preconception that people have of my city. And I find that there's a lot of that in the Bronx, even though hip hop comes from there. It's the birthplace of hip hop. And shout out to the fact that we came out here for the hip hop anniversary.
Yes.
So
Word
we're
up.
very honored and we're just happy to be here to be able to celebrate with all the great people that are going to be there. But I guess my questions about the Bronx is, first off, what part of the Bronx are you from? And then how are you feeling about the state of what's happening in the Bronx? Because I feel like the gentrification is coming because you see it in the South Bronx. So I just want to hear like how you're thinking, what you're thinking about the change that might be coming toward the Bronx.
So first and foremost, I'm from the South Bronx. I'm on Freeman Street. Those who know about Katona, y'all already know I'm on the 2 line.
Word up.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever been there, you know it get. Yeah, I mean, it get how it get.
Well,
Yeah,
you're not far from like 3rd Ave and 145?
nah, I'm from right by the hub, exactly by the
Word.
concourse. It's like I can't walk there, but it's like a 10-minute train ride, and I'm smack dab in 3rd Ave.
Word up.
Yeah, I ride my bike through there almost every day. So
Cool.
So yeah, I'm from the South Bronx. The second question, as far as like the stereotypes about, it's weird. When I was younger, I keep it short, but it's funny. I get deep into things like this, but like when I was younger, I kind of fell into the hood. It was kind of like gaslighting. The hood gaslight you to like you got to stay a certain way
Right.
to be cool, or like not to be cool. It's like you turning your back, or this and that, and it's like because I want better for myself. I'm just supposed to be like roaches and rats is cool in my kitchen every day. And that's supposed to. I'm keeping it real. I moved to Brooklyn 3 years ago. I moved to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I stood out there for 3 years. And I lived in a gentrified neighborhood, safe to say. So I was a gentrifier. I say on camera, my fault, y'all. And I'm gonna keep it 100 though. I already had my doubts as far as from young. I always knew, even with the hip hop, making beats. There's like, man, you're not doing that. You gotta make like the trap stuff and all that. And I was like, that stuff, I'm not into that. But to
Sure.
get back into the behavior, when I moved to Brooklyn, I actually got to live it. It feels good to live in a nice neighborhood. You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
The people dudes tell you that because they never left. And it's almost like I said, it's kind of like it's putting ribbon on shit or putting ribbon on poop, part of my language. But to answer that, like, the Bronx has its bad. They over stereotype it.
They do.
I will say that.
They definitely do.
They over stereotype it. Not, you know what I mean? There's dangers all over the place in New York City. The same way it's
Right.
probably in Chicago.
Yeah.
You get checked anywhere.
That's
So,
true.
you know what I'm saying? There's poor people everywhere. Whenever there's poor people, there's problems. Not saying poor people are problems, but we gotta do based off our community. I want to clear that poor people are not, because I'm poor. But I don't know. Like, as I don't want gentrification to happen because I am seeing it happen around 3rd Ave, actually.
Yeah.
I-
They literally built a skyline by the Bruckner. And I'm like,
Shout out to Brooklyn
yo,
Boulevard, man.
I never thought I would live to see the day that there was a damn skyline in the South Bronx. I was like, holy shit,
Bro,
man.
3rd Ave. There's no more halfway houses. They've been like condominiums and stuff
That's
like that.
right. That's right.
Yo, the Bronx has a piano district. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they gentrified the shit out of that.
Yeah.
They have an art gallery. Oh my,
Right.
it's a black-owned art gallery though. I
Okay,
forgot the
yeah.
name.
Well, and I mean, of the New York City area, there's 2 areas that I've seen resist gentrification a little bit to where they're trying to force more of a merge. I mean, like in early Brooklyn gentrification, there was a merge of cultures. It was like outside culture, but now you're in New York. You have to learn to do it a little bit on our way. And then gentrification came so hard that it kind of began to bulldoze the old culture. See, in the Bronx, and also what I see in Jersey a little bit, like Jersey City, they're forcing a little bit more of a merge. It's like, it's cool. You can come from the outside, but you're going to have to like merge a little bit with what's here. It can't just be a full blown, like, here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. And my last little piece about that, because some of my family's from other boroughs. I won't name them. It could be the one we're in. But and then there's the Bronx. And my other half the family was from the Bronx. And I'm sorry, a lot of Brooklyn, Queens people talk shit about the Bronx, man. And I'd be looking at it like, where does this even come from? You act like the same shit ain't going down in your hood. You know what I mean? But anyway.
No, exactly. But it's just the Bronx. The problem with the Bronx that I feel that's holding us back as far as a people that Brooklyn has over us, and we need to adapt that. It has nothing to do with gentrification or other groups of people, but it's just like what stops the Bronx from growing is the people itself. And I mean, as far as like entering other ideas, we're stuck in like '06. And we need to stop doing that. And what I mean by that, like even, off the music, when I was young into fashion, when I put down my Pele and I put down my BB belt or my Gucci belt and I picked up Supreme, Mishka, and all these other brands back in the day, this before StockX and all that, they was making fun of me. Oh, you a weirdo, wearing Bacon, Candy Camel, all that weird stuff. They made fun of that. While Brooklyn was like, nah, we're going to acknowledge that. Wearing nudie jeans and all that cool stuff. And it's more than fashion, but it's just to show that, like,
it's an example.
It's an example of Brooklyn from early, even before full gentrification, and we had like Whole Foods every goddamn place, and organic like coffee beans and stuff. Brooklyn already was starting to acknowledge the difference, even in fashion and pop culture, while the Bronx kept it to. Dipset was well over with. It's not but like Dipset and that type of music was well over with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the Bronx was like, nah, we not jacking that. Or we not doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, bro, you gotta grow. I tried to get even my friends, I called it my second life. I had to start my second life going to Soho and going to Brooklyn because my Bronx cats wasn't trying to make that trip with me on the train to go downtown to go to Houston Street or any of that stuff. They wanted to stay. They wanted to be sad. Like I said, there's this weird thing where it's like, nah, man, yo, bro, like it's almost like a comedy. Yo, I got bigger roaches in my kitchen. Like, are you proud of that?
Yeah, nah.
Yo, we got. If y'all, I love the Bronx. I'm not dissing. I moved back to the Bronx too, so I'm there again. But I want to say, living in Brooklyn really just showed like, yo, there is more out there, and it's living better doesn't make you any minutes. Yeah, they telling you that it's gaslighting.
Yeah,
when you wake up every day and there's you could get an organic smoothie around the corner from you, and still it's a beautiful life. I'm telling you, you don't got to deal with days old meat at the bodega and getting a sandwich with the ox, giving you the bread with the mold on it. We ain't got to deal with that.
Right,
that don't make you better. They don't keep it gangster.
It doesn't. And my only last encouragement for Uptown in the Bronx is that we living in a hip hop culture that was the newest thing ever invented. So in reality, the Bronx is a part of creating the newest trend that happens now in the entire world. That's the fucking truth of that, yo. You know what I mean?
Shout
the
out to
whole
the
world is
Bronx.
doing this shit.
From the Mecca.
So let's talk about, we're gonna start to wind down before we get into your beat set. But let's talk about the records you're working on right now. And why don't you let us know some of the biggest records that we should know about that you've already put out, and then also talk to us about what you got coming out.
All right, copy. I'll start with as mentioned before, I think I got like 35 albums out on Bandcamp. So if you're not tuned in, you know what I'm saying? I got like 10 in the tuck I could drop right now. I just want to put, but I'm not going to do that. For real. I'm always not making beats. I'm always doing something. But my biggest album I had, I'm going to start with that, and then we could go chronologically, I think was Things Fall Apart. It was picked up by Off the Scene Records. Shout out to my good brother Faraz. He's a black-owned independent like record label.
Word.
They gave me my first distro deal ever. And I had dropped the cassette for it. I did a real music video for it, like not cartoon visuals or anime or whatever. I do that too, though. I'm not down in that for a single.
Yeah.
But I did shot a real video for it, and it was my first time putting out a physical product. I think it was 100 units. I think we pressed 100 tapes. I sold out in like 3 hours. Wow. So
nice.
It's not even a flex. It's more like I never believed that.
And you needed to see the confirmation for yourself.
Nah, yeah, for real. Keep it 100. Most people, like, some people are selling millions of records or whatever the case may be. And where I'm from, in my genre, I seen dudes press it. Ain't like, for me to move 100 joints, that's platinum for me. I don't really care what this guy's saying. So I went platinum. You looking at it?
Yeah.
So,
remember what Fairmont said? Platinum around the world went wood in the hood. You know what I'm
you
saying?
feel me? Shout out Fairmont too. I just seen that man at the Most Def concert in Madison Square Garden. Fairmont still got it.
Pharaoh's.
Yeah.
No respect.
Pharaoh's one of the best.
People
ever.
don't come on, son.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my biggest project. Tapes I got coming out. I just dropped a tape on Friday, this past Friday, for Bandcamp Friday. It's called For What It's Worth. It's 8 Johns. It's a calm EP or whatever the case may be. People are buzzing about it. So shout out people if you bought it, if you support. Yeah, I mean, love is love.
Love is love.
If you haven't, tap in. My new joint, I got a physical joint coming out with my brother Kemp Dupree.
Okay.
I got an album coming out with Kemp Dupree, and we I can't get too much in detail, but we rolling out a real music video, I think, for that. And we rolling out we got a team behind us. So
Word.
this is gonna be more than like the iPhone camera. We doing our thing. So I can't give an exact date yet because I ain't trying to put no pressure because I don't know. But we are planning to do that between late August end of September. So within the next month and a half, it should be coming out.
Nice.
That's as far as rap albums. As far as beat tapes, I'm going to keep it real. Like I mentioned before, I got, even the set today, I'm doing, y'all, I'm about to say, I did a little something special. These are all unreleased. This is not stuff from my previous
Exclusives,
discography.
kid. That's what's up.
Yeah, I came with, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I might drop the Bandcamp Friday, September 4th, I think, or 1st. I don't even know.
Pull one out the stash.
No, for real. That's what what I do is I make like 5 tapes and I do album arts and singles and then I just put them in a folder. And then
my man's organized.
No, yeah, for real. You gotta do that. So I could do a rollout at any given moment. I have a rollout in each folder, like from the single to the album art to the like what I wanna, you know what I mean, how I wanna promote it. So thank you. So depending, because I don't want it to hiccup on me and Kemp shit. If we do drop at the end of August, I will not drop Bandcamp Friday because then I'm dropping the beat tape and then I'm promoting this real rap video. It's it's gonna confuse people. People attention spans is depleting as social media grows. So I'm not trying to hurt nobody. Hurt nobody brain. So yeah. And yeah, so I can't really give an exact date, but like most likely, whether it be if you don't get the rap tape from us at the end of August, you will get a beat tape from me probably in the first week of September.
Word. Yo, so let's talk about the piece of machinery that you brought with you today to do your set.
It's a Denon DJ Go Prom. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not magical like some dudes. Like, for example, I seen DZ yesterday. People rock off the SP crazy and they know how to get the transitions right with the effects and all that stuff. To me, it's too little. I feel boxed in and I get anxiety. That's just me.
No doubt.
So so I performed off SPs before, but for me, I just feel more comfortable with a DJ deck. So I started to do a virtual DJ on my computer. I did record everything live off an SP and a virtual DJ.
Word.
Pardon me. But I was in the market. I was like, yo, I feel like I'm missing the physical feel. I don't want to be clicking on a computer. So I just got a real DJ deck and was like, I'm going to get busy. And I've been working on it.
This is a nice little, I like this, man, with a little touchscreen and all that.
No, yeah, it's a touchscreen and it runs directly off the SD. So I literally take the SD out of the SP and dump it in there and I could just go off.
Word.
It's crazy.
This is a nice piece. I might have to look into this for myself because I'm trying to get some new shit for DJing. But you can kind of use it as a production piece. I see the pads.
I made beats on there too.
Word up. Yeah, this is a nice little hot little piece. I like the size to come out with XLR outputs and to this is dope.
That's what when I bought it, the dude was like, that's why it's one of the usually smaller pieces. I'm not a studio guy, you guys probably are, but apparently like those little cheaper DJ things, they don't really have professional outputs, like the crazier outputs in the back, but they was like, this gives you club quality outputs, but on a smaller standalone piece.
Exactly.
All that hoopla, I don't know about any of that.
Word. No, well, and let's get into all that, man. That's your destiny, because your sound is good, so everything sounds hot coming out the shit. You know, what I mean?
Appreciate you, man.
Word. All right, so check it out. Without further ado, thanks for Jesse on the interview, and we're about to get into a live production set with Jesse Rackson, coming live from the Greenhouse Recording Studio in Brooklyn, New York. All right,
yes. All right, so let's do it. Yo, peace. It's Jesse Rackson, man. Y'all now tuned in, man. Shout out Just Made Media, Record Everything Culture. Yo, we at the Greenhouse Recording Company, man, up in Brooklyn, New York, man. So, you know what I mean? Without further ado, let's get into this smooth shit. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
So long now that it's almost like, don't mention me with certain people that didn't put in the work I put in already. Just ain't the same. Baby, so it just can't be that bad. House just ain't the same. Lord, baby, oh baby, so it just can't be that bad.
house just ain't the same. Lord, baby, I'm so good. It just can't be that bad.
was my little outro beat. You know what I'm saying? A little emotional. Yo, man, thank y'all for having me. That's a little special set from me to you. Yeah, I'm saying much love, man. I appreciate y'all, man. One, my name Jesse Rackson one more time.
Yeah, make some noise again for Jesse Rackson. That's what's up. We really appreciate him rocking with us out here. Came all the way out to Brooklyn, to the Greenhouse Recording Company. Big up to my man Mose again for running the boards for us. Big up to Gigi. Big up to Chase Calor for running the cameras for us. Big up to Willie Green. He's outside taking care of business as he always does. Thanks for having us, hospitable host, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna come right next on the next New York episode with Willie Green himself, all right? Peace. See y'all soon.